Late night TV is collapsing right before our eyes, and Jimmy Kimmel is caught in the crossfire. From scandalous blackface skits to tanking ratings and cringe-worthy teleprompter jokes, Kimmel's once glorious late-night reign is crashing hard. Meanwhile, voices like Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly aren't holding back, exposing hypocrisy, double standards, and the death of real comedy in Hollywood. For years, Jimmy Kimmel has been the face of late-night woke culture, a Hollywood insider who's traded laughs for virtue signaling and political rants. But behind the scripted smiles and forced applause, the truth is clear. His show is dying, his jokes are falling flat, and his credibility is in free fall. As streaming numbers soar for alternative voices like Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan, Kimmel's empire of carefully crafted narratives is unraveling. This is the story of late night's fall, a cautionary tale of how cancel culture, fake laughs, and hypocrisy have turned what used to be a mare.
He's had a real problem with Elon from the beginning of this thing, but it's like he's in this leftist thought bubble. He is in the most leftist thought bubble available, which is Hollywood. And, and I think also, he famously, there's some videos of him in blackface, and those came out, and he had apologized for them. And I think he took that hit and, really doubled down the other direction.
Jimmy Kimmel's a loser. I do Jimmy Kimmel. I did him a lot.
Yeah.
And he'd be standing on the sidewalk. Oh, sir, may I bring you in? He'd bring me in every time. The whole show is talking bad about Trump.
He called us doofuses when we had you on.
He's a group of doofuses in flat-brimmed hats.
Guess what? We
Ask
did
him how many.
what he did.
Ask him. Yeah, you do bigger. Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel just can't stop taking L's, and Joe Rogan is handing them out for free. From slamming Kimmel's obsession with Elon Musk to mocking his Hollywood bubble-wrapped worldview, Rogan's on a mission. The gloves are off, and the target is clear. A late-night host who's turned into a full-time Trump basher and part-time punchline. And remember those blackface clips? Kimmel tried to apologize, but instead of learning, he went full activist mode. Rogan's verdict? Kimmel's a loser. A sidewalk greeter turned virtue-signaling megaphone. Throw in some flat-brimmed hats, a few doofus jokes, and a dying show, and you've got late-night television's saddest roast. This isn't just criticism. This is career CPR, and Kimmel's still flatlining.
I mean, I struggle to even mention that guy's name. He's such an absolute I can't stand him. But anyway, it's just my thought bubble out loud. We took a look at some of their reactions to the news of Trump's win. Look at this.
Hey there. How are you doing? If you watch the show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate. It was a terrible night for poor people, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO.
You know how much it costs to produce Jimmy Kimmel's show? I guarantee you it's tens and tens of millions. It could be as much as 100 million. I have no idea. You know how much Tucker's video cost? Nothing. You know how much Jimmy Kimmel, how many people he gets tuning in on an average night? Just last week, his average was, in the overall, meaning all viewers, 1.5 million. In the key demo, 236,000. Tucker would have been embarrassed to pull that on any night he was on the Fox News channel.
Jimmy Kimmel's Trump meltdown wasn't just dramatic. It was downright embarrassing. From whining about women, immigrants, the climate, and even NATO, Kimmel turned a presidential win into a doomsday monologue. And Joe Rogan? He's not buying any of it. Megyn Kelly joins in, barely able to mention Kimmel's name without cringing. But here's the real kicker. While Kimmel's sinking millions into a show nobody's watching, barely 1.5 million total, and just 236,000 in the key demo, Tucker Carlson is pulling bigger numbers with videos that cost $0 to make. Hollywood production budget, tens of millions. Kimmel's ranting monologues, pricelessly unwatchable. This isn't just bad TV. It's a masterclass in irrelevance. Kimmel's ratings are tanking, And even Rogan and Kelly can't keep from laughing as the lights dim on late night's loudest virtue signaler.
There's not a chance in hell that this is funny or gonna work. And when you see those flat, corny, late-night monologue jokes with no audience, Colbert, there's Jimmy Kimmel, there's Fallon. What they're doing is just like reading off of a teleprompter. So a bunch of really good joke writers wrote them some stuff, and then they're playing to the audience, and the audience is like laughing, so they get this feedback, and they know how to do that. They stand there, and there's applause signs, and then there's producers. There's the warm-up guy that's literally telling people to applaud. They're like, okay, explaining to the people, okay, when Jimmy comes out, I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now.
Joe Rogan just peeled back the curtain on late night, and it's not pretty. Kimmel, Fallon, and the rest, they're not performing. They're reading. Flat, scripted jokes off a teleprompter, written by someone else, delivered to an audience coached like kindergartners. No real laughs, just claps on command. Rogan calls it what it is, a lifeless, factory-produced routine where even the applause is fake. There's a warm-up guy backstage teaching the crowd how to cheer before the show even starts. Practice rounds for forced laughter. And the worst part, it still isn't funny. This isn't comedy. It's corporate cringe in primetime. And Rogan's not letting it slide.
And do you know who's going to be hosting the Academy Awards this year? Jimmy Kimmel. Do you know who's worn blackface repeatedly and spoken inner city sort of urban accent saying she needs to darn those socks? Jimmy Kimmel as Oprah, as a fat-suited, black-faced, darning socks Oprah. Now, if you are of the left, that's fine. If you are of the right and happen to just say, hey, people used to wear blackface and nobody freaked out about it, you get...
Now, imagine anyone on the right doing that today. Just mentioning blackface gets you canceled. But Kimmel, he gets a primetime gig at Hollywood's biggest night. Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly aren't just calling out the double standard. They're dragging it into the spotlight. If you lean left, it's performance art. If you lean right, it's a career-ending offense. It's not just hypocrisy. It's Hollywood's favorite game. And Kimmel's the poster boy for playing both sides and never paying the price.
Horrified after yours truly said in 2018 that people used to don dark makeup in order to imitate well-known black celebrities and it wasn't a big deal. Absolutely ate up the performance by Hollywood darling Mr. Kimmel, whose blackface costumes included his oft-repeated bit as basketball star Karl Malone.
Megyn Kelly was canceled in 2018 for simply stating a fact that people once wore dark makeup to imitate black celebrities, and it wasn't always controversial. The outrage was swift, the career damage instant. But Jimmy Kimmel? Hollywood ate it up. This darling of the left didn't just mention blackface, he performed in it repeatedly. From mocking Oprah to his infamous Karl Malone skits, Kimmel went full costume and still got a standing ovation. The hypocrisy? Blinding. The double standard? Bulletproof. Kimmel's past gets a pass, while others get punished for less. Rogan and Kelly aren't just pulling skeletons out of the closet. They're burning the whole wardrobe down.
Tucker's numbers were 3 times what Jimmy Kimmel gets. And Tucker's little basement video that he did from clearly like his cabin that he broadcasts out of Maine in literally has 21 million views. Okay? 21 million views. Whereas, as I point out, on ABC, a massive network that comes into your home for free that you have to make no effort to find, at best, Jimmy Kimmel can get 1.5 million. He needs to have a little self-perspective before going out there and hurling these insults because he looks a little silly.
Tucker Carlson's Cabin Cam crushes Jimmy Kimmel's multi-million-dollar setup, and it's not even close. Broadcasting from what looks like a Maine basement, Tucker pulled in 21 million views on a single video. Meanwhile, Kimmel, backed by ABC, big budgets, and free TV, struggles to scrape 1.5 million on his best nights. Megyn Kelly nails it. Kimmel needs a serious reality check before lobbing smug insults from his Hollywood perch. The numbers don't lie, and they're humiliating. While Tucker speaks raw and unfiltered from a rustic room, Kimmel hides behind a teleprompter and a studio full of canned laughs and still gets outclassed. This isn't just a ratings gap, it's a credibility chasm.
Problem with that kind of stuff is it continues to go in the same direction where more and more things become forbidden and toxic, to the point where, you know, the Elon Musk joking around about my pronouns are prosecute Fauci. Jimmy Kimmel made a tweet back to him. He said, your pronouns are ass and hole, which is pretty funny. But then
Did he really?
Yes. And so then I read that, and there was people saying, please don't joke about pronouns. It's transphobic to joke about pronouns. So they were chiding him.
The cancel culture spiral just keeps tightening, and not even Jimmy Kimmel can dodge it. When Elon Musk cracked a joke about pronouns, my pronouns are prosecute Fauci, Kimmel fired back with a tweet, your pronouns are ass and hole. Brutal? Maybe. Funny? Actually, yeah. But in today's outrage economy, humor doesn't stand a chance. The backlash came fast. Don't joke about pronouns. It's transphobic. Even Kimmel, the king of Hollywood-approved snark, got scolded by the very mob he caters to. Joe Rogan sees the pattern. The more you feed into the outrage machine, the sooner it comes for you. What used to be a joke is now a landmine, and Kimmel's stepping on every single one.
How weak and pathetic is a guy like that? The Tonight Show, which is dying. They're all dying. Where's Johnny Carson? Bring back Johnny. It made you appreciate, right, Uncle Sam? It made you appreciate the greatness of Johnny Carson. I go on a show, and he goes, is that your real hair? I said, yeah. He said, do you mind if I mess it up? So he grabs it, and he starts really going crazy, right? And everybody laughed, and it was a big thing, and it was a big hit. It was all over the place, and he got great ratings and all. And 6 months later, he went out because he was under pressure to apologize because he humanized.
Late night TV is on life support, and Trump just pulled the plug. Blasting the downfall of The Tonight Show, Trump took aim at the weak, pathetic hosts running today's late night circus. His message? Where's Johnny Carson when you need him? Back then, late night was about laughs, not lectures. Trump recalls the golden days. Carson joking about his hair, messing it up live on air, and the crowd loving every second. No scripts, no safe zones, just unscripted fun and real moments that made America laugh. But fast forward to now, those moments are extinct. Carson got pressured to apologize for simply humanizing his guest. That's the world we're in, where authenticity gets canceled and comedy dies by committee. Rogan, Kelly, and Trump agree. Late night has lost its soul. And guys like Kimmel, they're just hosting its funeral.
Last night was the 96th Academy Awards show, and while you might have missed it, there was one clear winner. No, not Oppenheimer. It was sanctimonious leftists for their lead role in pretending they are better than you. Several people shared in this achievement. Winner number one, Jimmy Kimmel. For the fourth time, Kimmel hosted the Oscars before an adoring crowd of Hollywood stars who laughed and curried favor with the man who wore blackface so many times.
The 96th Academy Awards aired last night, and while Hollywood gave the top prize to Oppenheimer, the real spotlight was on the smug, self-important celebrities acting like they're better than everyone else. Leading the charge, Jimmy Kimmel. For the fourth time, Kimmel took center stage at the Oscars, basking in applause from a room full of stars desperate to laugh at his recycled jabs and ignore his blackface past. It wasn't a celebration of film. It was a victory lap for hypocrisy. A standing ovation for a man who would have been canceled 10 times over if he leaned right instead of far left. Forget Best Actor. This was peak performance in elite-level double standards.
Nobody's going to care anymore. It's like you're seeing it take place with late night television. Nobody gives a fuck about it anymore.
I know.
And it's slowly, you have a bad business model and you're not adapting.
Yeah, the creativity's gone for late night comedy, right?
Nobody's tuning in anymore, and late night TV knows it. The once mighty late night juggernaut, now a dying breed with a failing business model that refuses to evolve. Creativity dead, replaced by tired jokes, safe scripts, and endless virtue signaling. Jimmy Kimmel and his peers, they're ghosts of a bygone era, clinging to fading ratings and shrinking audiences. The world's moved on, and late nights still stuck in neutral.
Do you think that's him or a writer? Can't you tell?
Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah.
No, it's him, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
good. That's a good one.
He's a comic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, he used to host The Man Show. I mean, he's done some pretty outrageous back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, for hee-hees and haw-haws.
No, that's a good joke on top of a good joke.
Yeah, it's a good joke.
Is that really Jimmy Kimmel on stage? Or just one of his writers? No doubt, it's Kimmel himself. And yeah, sometimes he lands a solid joke. Remember, this is the guy who used to host The Man Show, a show full of outrageous, edgy humor. Back then, he knew how to get real laughs, genuine, unfiltered, and sometimes wild. Sure, some of it was ee-hee and ha-ha stuff, but every now and then, he hit the mark with a good joke on top of a good joke. That's the Kimmel people remember, before the teleprompters and the safe, scripted snark took over.
Now, I will tell you, he's not the worst. The Daily Show has the worst ratings. They only have 366,000 people watching that show. During the Jon Stewart years, it was over 2 million. Now it's down to 300,000. Seth Meyers, absolutely dreadful. He doesn't even have 1 million, 778,000. I mean, for network television, this is, you don't have to pay for it. It's there when you turn on your TV, you plug it in. That's a dreadful number. Greg Gutfeld on cable, which you do have to pay for, it has more than double the numbers of Seth Meyers. Jimmy Kimmel, 1.5 million averaging, also equally horrible. And then there's The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, who back when I was there, 2017-18, he was averaging 2.3 million a night. Now he's down to 1.3 million, Jesse. And he cannot afford the "you are toxic" controversy because he's also pulling in reportedly over $15 million a year. So you got all that money for 1.5 million in audience, which is a nothing. I mean, the middle of the day on Fox News gets that, or at least used to before the Tucker controversy.
Let's put it all in perspective. Jimmy Kimmel isn't even the worst offender. The Daily Show, tanking hard with just 366,000 viewers, down from over 2 million during Jon Stewart's heyday. Seth Meyers, even worse, barely cracking 778,000 on free network TV. Meanwhile, Greg Gutfeld on cable, yes, cable you actually have to pay for, pulls in more than double Meyers' audience. Kimmel averages 1.5 million, which sounds decent until you realize it's a drop in the bucket for network TV. And Jimmy Fallon? He's crashed from 2.3 million viewers in 2017-18 to just 1.3 million now. Here's the kicker. These hosts rake in massive paychecks. Fallon reportedly pulling in over $15 million a year, all while delivering shrinking audiences and middling ratings. Late night is bleeding viewers, losing cultural relevance, and burning cash. The middle of the day on Fox News used to get similar numbers, before the Tucker controversy even shook things up. This isn't just a ratings slump, it's a full,